What is up, peeps? It is your boy HMK once again, and we are a month away from the launch of the Nintendo Switch 2. Well, maybe less than a month away, depending on when you watch this video. And as excitement abounds and the conversation continuously reaching fevered pitches online, I personally want to get you hyped and informed on what you need to know on the Nintendo Switch 2 at this moment in time. But it really makes you think. Do you believe we're gonna get one more Nintendo Direct before the launch of the Switch 2? Answer that question in the comments below. But if you pre-ordered a Nintendo Switch 2 or plan on getting it, or are still on the fence when it comes to the next advent of Nintendo consoles, here are some juicy tidbits, info, and opinions when it comes to Nintendo Switch 2 and what you need to know before the launch. This is HMK. Be sure to like, favorite, and most importantly, subscribe to the channel for more and hit that bell. Alright, let's dive directly into the noise. First and foremost, we gotta talk about the games, the lineup, the launch year lineup. While of course I'm excited for this new system and what it can do, the most important part are the games. And for launch and the first year, we already got a bunch of juicy ones. Mario Kart World, Metroid Prime 4, Donkey Kong Bonanza, Kirby Air Riders, I've been waiting for that one, and Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment. And along with that, we have a bunch of third-party support in the form of games such as Final Fantasy VII Remake Integrate and Elden Ring Tarnished Edition. And even beyond that, we have upgradable games such as The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, as well as GameCube games coming to NSO. We got some ample stuff for the first year, but outside of all of that, the word is that apparently Nintendo didn't reveal all their plans for games coming to the Switch 2 during launch year, which makes me think they have something huge planned for the holiday season. Maybe possibly they didn't reveal a new 3D Mario game yet. The sky is the limit and the possibilities are definitely up there. Now let's talk about the capabilities and the modes that the Switch 2 offers ahead of the Switch 1. The console will be capable of all the way up to 120 frames per second in certain modes and will have 4K support when docked. In handheld, the LCD screen is going to go up to 1080p as well as up to 120 frames per second. And across the board, both on handheld and docked, the system will support HDR. But something very specific that you all should note is that in order to use the Switch 2 in docked mode, you're going to have to use an ultra-fast HDMI cable, otherwise known as HDMI 2.1. As most people shouldn't have to worry as the cable is coming in the box. For content creators like me and my colleagues, you should know this ahead of time if you plan to use the Switch 2 with a capture device, which in order not to mess with the compatibility should have HDMI 2.1 across the board, which shouldn't be a big deal. You can find them in stores for like $10. Now I know we talked about the games before, but that was specifically on the lineup. But we need to talk about the games in terms of pricing and pretty much everything else. Nintendo Switch 2 games will have variable price points, which is something I don't agree with. For USD, games could be as little as $40 all the way up to $80. Listen, I bought the Mario Kart World bundle. I refuse to pay $80 for a video game. When it comes to other video games that have been on the Nintendo Switch before, there will be upgrade paths available for specific games. In terms of costs, when it comes to these upgrade paths, they range from $0 all the way up to $20. It really depends on the amount of content you get when you upgrade certain games. However, it should be noted that not all games will have upgrade paths, even though there's going to be a Nintendo Switch 2 version of that game, such as Sonic X Shadow Generations. Sega, what are you doing? So this is definitely, obviously, up to the discretion of specific developers and publishers. And the Nintendo Switch will also feature game key cards, which is definitely a hot button. Game key cards don't actually have the game on the key cards or the cartridges, but in order to play them, you have to put them in your Switch 2, have an internet connection, and download the game directly from the internet onto your console. And after booting up the game for the first time while connected to the internet, you can play the game anytime you want without the need of an internet connection, but you do need the game key card. So as the name suggests, it's pretty much a key. While this isn't particularly new in the world of console gaming, it is something that I definitely don't agree with when it comes to the fact that these cartridges can have a lot of memory and space to put the games on it if you compress them properly. But hey, on the bright side, you can still trade them and let your homies borrow the game keycards as they were a cartridge, but they will still need an internet connection in order to download the thing and to play it the first time, and then they can play it whenever as long as they have the card. I feel like this is going to lead to a very big problem down the line in terms of game keycard duplication burning. Now let's talk a little bit about the feel, durability, and other aspects of the physical Nintendo Switch 2. According to people and some homies that had their hands on the thing in terms of the Nintendo Switch 2 preview events, the feel feels really good. While it's definitely a bit heavier than a regular Nintendo Switch, it's sleek, comforting to your hands in terms of the bigger screen and the bigger Joy-Con 2s. And while there's been a bunch of memes in terms of the magnets, according to what I've been told by my friends and from videos that we see, the magnets are apparently really strong. While I'm still a bit skeptical, apparently the magnets are gonna be powerful. It's going to be able to withstand both proper and improper use, probably for the time being. And speaking of proper use, the latest big update that happened with the Switch will allow you to system transfer everything you've got into the Switch 2. And better yet, if you want to go down the upgrade path in terms of trading in your Switch at certain outlets, you're able to back up your Switch 1 entirely to the cloud, which will result in the console being factory resetted, and then you could trade in your console, and then once you have a Switch 2 in your hands, you can download everything you've backed up onto the Switch 2. Pretty keen and thoughtful if you ask me. Segueing off of that, let's talk a little bit about the pre-orders and the sales that have been going on with the Nintendo Switch 2. While not completely sold out in terms of pre-orders, it's getting there. In multiple regions, the pre-orders have been sold out online, and it's getting to the point when it comes to physical stores that you can go in and pre-order the thing itself. Depending on your region and outlet, these outlets require a hefty deposit for you to put down against the price of the Switch 2 to ensure that you're actually going to get the thing and to combat scalping. The numbers have been very good, a little too good in places like Japan, where Nintendo president Furukawa actually had to apologize because they might not meet demand. Hey, when you're the sequel successor to one of the best-selling consoles of all time, that might happen. If you still plan on getting a Switch 2 and you haven't been able to pre-order one yet, depending on your region, I would call ahead, see if any pre-orders are available physically and how much a deposit will be required in order to have one. And if you have pre-ordered one online, be sure to continuously check your email just in case if any cancellations are in your inbox. That way you can prepare accordingly, especially if you're considering trading in your first Switch. You would hate to have the thing factory resetted after you backed it up and just, sit there. And if you aren't able to get one at launch, hold fast, because I'm sure Nintendo will realize this insane demand of the console and don't give in to scalpers. The NSO member pre-order ticketing has recently started in certain regions, so make sure to check that out as well. And hey, if you're cool on waiting, more power to you. But in closing, what are other aspects that I like to see when it comes to the Switch 2, both inside and outside the console? Well, I love to see more themes. We're getting like over 200 profile icons when the thing launches in June. I would like to see more themes other than black and white. Come on, remember the 3DS days? Man, that was cool. And honestly, I would love to have another Nintendo Direct before the launch of the Switch 2 to see some more juicy trailers and looks to certain games we've already seen and possibly hint at those that are still a secret but slated for this year. While there are aspects that I don't agree with when it comes to the Nintendo Switch 2 and Nintendo's practice in terms of communication not being 100% awesome, I'm still incredibly excited for this console because what I've seen in terms of the games and its capabilities, I just know I'm going to enjoy it very much in multiple ways. But I want to know what you guys think. We are less than a month away from the Switch 2, and are you ready? And if not, I hope this video helped. Be sure to like, share, and most importantly, subscribe to HMK, and be sure to let other people know about this video and channel so they are in the know when it comes to the Switch 2. So until the next video, this has been HMK, and I'll check you guys later.